All right, welcome to the 2024 SEC Baseball Tournament Game 1 press conference. LSU advanced to the double elimination segment of the SEC Tournament beginning Wednesday morning at 9:30 against third-seeded Kentucky. We're joined by LSU head coach Jay Johnson along with winning pitcher Gage Jump and outfielder Josh Pearson. Coach Johnson will give an opening statement, and then we'll take questions for the players only, please. Diego and Seth, again, will be passing the microphone, so please wait for the microphone and identify yourself. And then also please try not to pass in front of the center camera. Coach, can I get an opening statement, please?
Yeah, very proud of our team. We're playing the best baseball we've played all year over the last 20 games, playing as good as anybody in the country. With the stakes of today's game, we controlled what we could control really well. Gage was phenomenal on the mound. We put this in play about 3 weeks ago that he would pitch this game if we'd put ourselves in the position we did, which was to be a NCAA tournament team. So he's been working hard and ready to roll, and was as good today against one of the best offenses in college baseball, probably as anybody that they've seen all year. Big day out of Josh and the lineup, and another great zero in the air column. So proud of how we played. Get back to the hotel, get to work on Kentucky, and great effort from the Tigers today.
All right, we'll take questions first for Josh and Gage in the back right, please.
Chessa Boucher with WVLA in Baton Rouge. Gage, what was working so well for you?
Getting ahead, and I think throwing the curveball. Lately, it's just been kind of one off-speed pitch, but having both in my back pocket with the fastball really helped.
Can you follow up in the back right?
Also, knowing what was on the line, especially with the postseason, was knowing you had 3 weeks to get ready and to be here, but to dominate the way you did, how was it for you?
Just having the opportunity to pitch this game in a must-win situation is kind of what you dream of and what you love to do. And I was super excited, even though it was a 9:30 game. I didn't care. So I was super pumped. And once we got 2 in the first, I was like, okay, just preserve this lead as long as I can, and then put up some more runs. And the defense helped me a lot. So it was a really good win.
In the center, in the back row.
Jack Schemmel, WBRZ in Baton Rouge. For Gage, like Coach just mentioned, you had 3 weeks. You had this on your mind for a couple weeks. How did your preparation maybe change, or did it stay the same, on that 4-day rest and the early morning game as well?
The preparation's kind of the same. I think there's some things you have to change, listen to your body, but overall it's, my bullpen was just cut a little shorter, and then the weight room stuff was kind of the same. It's just how I was reacting to being on shorter rest, but the atmosphere was great and I felt great, so it was pretty awesome.
Josh, it seems like Hoover it's magical for you. You just show up, especially in the postseason. Why do you play so well here?
I don't necessarily think it's specifically for Hoover. Just try to take everything one pitch at a time, and maybe batter's eye nice here or something like that. But just try to take everything one pitch at a time and be where my feet are. So the situation where I'm at doesn't really change, just the same game.
In the center, in the front row.
Gage, Cokie Riley with The Advocate. How'd you feel physically by the end of your start?
I thought I felt better as the game went on, to be honest. I felt good.
In the back row, on the right.
John Eads with WFB TV in Baton Rouge. Question for Josh. Do you feel like that was one of the more complete performances you guys have strung together from the first inning all the way to the end?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like everybody was slowing down with runners in scoring position, and we were getting the leadoff guy on, we were getting him over, and we were getting him in. Things that we do every day at practice, and we were really putting it together today. Putting good swings and not chasing outside of the zone, and just swinging at pitches that we can crush, and we did a really good job of that today.
In the center of the back row.
Josh, that hit in the first inning, obviously with runners on base, you've been really good lately with runners on base. Is it just, I know we've talked about it, but a mindset you have, or just the way you feel when there's guys on the pond there for you?
Yeah, just slowing down and putting the ball in play. When there's one RBI to get, you try to get it. So knew there's a runner at third, bases loaded, just try to put a ball in the middle of the field.
Any more questions for the players right here in the front row?
You said the 9:30 a.m. start didn't really phase you. Gage, what time did you sort of get up this morning and get yourself, how'd you sort of get yourself ready physically?
Got up early. I don't know, I think 5:30 or something. Took a shower, and then I was kind of good. There was adrenaline early, so I felt like it was a night game, to be honest. Yeah.
We'll take one more for the players on the back right.
For Gage, if I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Yeski came out and talked to you close to the end of your start when there was an out, a couple guys on maybe. What was he saying to you in that conversation?
Basically just, this is your last guy, go get him, and kind of asked what I wanted to throw. So we went over some things, and then I told him I just wanted to blow a heater by him. And I didn't want to walk him. I really didn't want to walk him. And yeah, just try to get it in. That'll help me out a little bit, and I got it.
All right, Gage, Josh, thank you for your time. Congratulations. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
If there are any questions for Coach Johnson, we'll start in the back right.
Coach, do you feel like this was Gage's best performance?
I think he's been great for a while. I think just giving you all some context, I mean, he's one of the best high school pitchers I've ever seen, and recruited him hard to Arizona. He chose UCLA. That was a gut punch because I believed he would be exactly what everybody saw today. And then he only had 14 innings before he got hurt there as a freshman. And then coming in the fall, he was difficult to deal with for our players. And then I don't think he gave up a run in the non-conference schedule. You know, and one of those was a win against Louisiana Lafayette, who I believe won the Sun Belt. And I mean, he just completely shut them down. And then the start of SEC play, I think it was an adjustment. It was the first time maybe somebody had punched back, you know, as far as traffic, base runners, those types of things. And I think once he got past Mississippi State and Arkansas start, I think he's been elite ever since. I think he's pitched like one of the best pitchers in the country, and there's no doubt in my mind that he is.
In the second row here on the right side.
Joe Healy, D1 Baseball. What were your expectations for you and Nate with Gage coming into the day in terms of how much you were willing to go with him? And at some point, did you guys adjust that expectation upward, just given how he was cruising?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think I was kind of in the 90 to 100, but we were going to pay attention to how he looked, felt, all of those types of things. 9:30 game, a little bit odd, obviously, from what we do all year. He's pitched at night most of the season, obviously pitching on either game 1 or game 2. But I was very intentful kind of watching the first couple innings, and it's a great offense. Like, you can't make a mistake of leaving somebody in too long or pulling the wrong guy too early. And then after he gave up the run, the third and the fourth and the fifth went by like that. And I just felt like there was no chance we were going to send him back out, obviously, as he just said. I told Coach Yeski to give him a breather. This is your last hitter. Get convicted with what you're doing, and that's going to be it. But what a performance. And, he'll have more time on the back end before the NCAA tournament now, which is great.
In the front row.
Coach, how do you prepare for a start that's 3 weeks ahead and going to be on short rest?
Yeah,
like
I
that?
feel like this is like, I respect the question, but that's major leaguer. That's what he's going to do with his life, is pitch on 4 days rest. I just got out ahead of it, of going like, hey, we're moving you to the first game. And then once we were playing well, won 3 series in a row, what we want to do is right in front of us. And so this game was probably going to be important. I don't think it should be relative to our resume and our season, but it probably is. And that's the best offense in college baseball statistically. And there you go. He's why we're one of the best teams in the country right now. And everybody got to see that today. I don't think it's as big a deal as we thought. And we were monitoring it very closely. But his excitement level when I went to him with this a few weeks ago was like, oh yeah, like let's go. And that plays a big part in it too.
Front row on the left.
Alex Day, College Baseball Central. Coach, what does it mean for the team to have a guy like Josh Pearson, who maybe statistically hasn't had the greatest season, but in the clutch, in the biggest games, he always comes through for you?
Yeah, so, this stretch run that we're on and have won 15 out of 20, 4 out of the last 5 SEC series. If you go back and all these wins, walk-off hit against Auburn, big hit right there. Huge bases loaded double against number 1 Texas A&M. And there was a couple last weekend, against Ole Miss. He's a quality at-bat machine. And I haven't quite figured out, what's different, in March versus May for this guy. But last year, I just basically said, we're playing this guy. We have enough guys that can hit the ball over the fence on, one of the best offenses in college baseball history. He's going to play great defense in the outfield. He's going to move the ball with runners on base, and I just trust him. And we kind of got to that point this year too. And he just moves our offense. It might not be your prototypical SEC four-hitter, but because he can do what he can with runners on base is why I have him placed in the lineup where I do right now.
All right, we have time for two more for Coach right in the front.
Coach, so the players mentioned that this was a must-win game, and you said obviously on Sunday that you guys had basically punched your ticket already in the tournament. How did you sort of approach this game in terms of importance for the NCAA tournament?
Well, it was an unbelievable opportunity as I saw it. I really believe we're one of the best teams in the country. We're just playing all the other ones. I mean, of our 10 league series, 8 of those teams are going to be in the NCAA tournament along with us. Nobody else does that. I think that's our 19th win against the top 45 RPI teams in the country. I think that's like less than 5 teams have that. We're like 9-3 against teams 25 to 40, which is usually the bubble. So logically, my brain goes to, we're in a good spot. Now this was an opportunity to take RPI number 5, national television audience, one of the best pitchers in the country that people don't know about because he's kind of, just kind of emerged this year. And what a good win for our team for a lot of reasons.
All right, one more for Coach in the back right.
Pitching obviously was the main key in this ball game, but the bats, especially Michael Braswell, leadoff, and Tommy White, what did you see from them?
Yeah, I think we've been getting better, and I think improvement sometimes get lost because it's a results game, and that's what captures everybody's attention. But we've been just getting better, and I think even guys like Tommy, who's one of the best guys with runners on base in the history of college baseball, they've just kind of understood what they need to do a little bit better, staying within themselves. I thought we were great. We didn't, we had bases loaded, 1 out, and didn't get the guy in from third in the first inning. And I thought Michael scorched the other one that he hit into double play. Like it's hard for me to be upset about that. Other than that, guys hitting the ball the other way, middle of the field, spitting on pitches that the pitcher wanted to swing at. I thought it was a very good example of professional hitting today by our team.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.